And confirmation that the live stream is going and we have a meeting open at 4 o'clock. And we received a late apology from Councillor Christensen. And can I get a mover and a seconder that the Ōtorohanga Community Board receive and accept the apology from Councillor Christensen for non-attendance? Peter, move, and Steve, second. And we have no late items in this meeting. Is there any declaration of conflict of interest? No. And confirmation of minutes. So we've got that the open minutes of the Ōtorohanga Community Board meeting held on the 7th of August 2023 having been circulated, be taken as read and confirmed as true and correct record of that meeting. Can I get a mover and seconder? Seconds. And are there any matters arising from these minutes? No matters arising. And no public forum. And then we just had the one decision report. Item 20, removal of trees at Ōtorohanga Museum, 17 Kakamutu Street, Ōtorohanga. And welcome, Jared.
Thank you, through you, your chair. I'll take the report as read, just give a quick summary. We received a request to remove the 2 melia trees in front of the Ōtorohanga Museum, which come from the Historical Society through you, your chair, Kat. We looked into this. We've done quite a bit of work lately with those trees. We've had them lifting up the pavers, causing a trip hazard inside the fence line. And we're constantly having to trim them. They're getting quite large now to the point where they actually touch the buildings inside the fence perimeter. So they're becoming quite maintenance heavy at the moment, and the way they're growing, that's only going to get bigger. Through our urban tree policy, it states with these trees above 5 meters tall within our urban boundary, the decision needs to be brought to community board to remove them, as they're currently not a major safety issue, but they're only going to get more and more intense with the work needed. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Questions, it's not me, but through you, chair. So Jared, have they caused any damage to the footpath as well? You said the path into the thing, have they caused actually damage to the footpath?
Not at this stage, but with their close proximity, it's quite possible in the future they will as they get bigger.
And how far are they from the power? There's some power lines right there too, isn't there? How far are they from them?
They're just touching at the moment, so if we don't remove them, we'll need further trimming to keep them below those.
Oh yeah, no, I fully agree. They probably need to be removed if they're become a problem, because I just a quick little Google search, I found that they can grow over 12 meters tall plus those things, and so I presume that they need, and actually the fruit from them are toxic as well to humans, not to birds but to humans. So I suppose for different reasons, yeah, I think it's probably advisable that they do go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Just for the board, speaking with our landscape team, the major issue is with the cobblestones, the small roots actually grow like knuckles on them. So even though the root structure is small, the knuckles grow, and that's what's been popping up our pavers.
Just one more question. How long have they been there? Do you know when they planted?
I'm not sure the age. It was around the time that Walker House was built, but I'm not sure exactly of the time frame.
I said just in my little bit of research I did, I find they've got about a 20-year lifespan anyway, so they might be even getting close to that as well. So I think there's plenty of reasons. So I would think that it's probably that they will become very problematic in short term, I would think.
just looking at the position in respect to that gateway, you'd almost think they might have been planted at the same time, and the symmetry between the gateway and the entrance.
I also noted that they actually, in some parts of the world, they're actually an invasive species. So in North America, parts of North America, they're a weed. So, but in saying that, the councils in Australia, especially in Melbourne, plant them as shade trees along a lot of their streets. Because if you've been to Melbourne, you'll see a lot of their streets are shaded with trees. Apparently, those trees are quite popular for that over there. So it depends what part of the world you're in as to how they're viewed, I would think.
Through you, Chair. Jared, I agree. I think at this stage that these trees probably have grown their time. And it did say from the letter from the Museum Society that they've been there approximately 20 years. But I was just wondering, it says there on 5.3, council staff approached several local hapu and marae representative for comment on the trees and received one response which supported the removal of the trees and suggested some native shrubs be planted in place of the trees. If that's the case, knowing in relation to the footpath going in and the footpath outside, that even if it is native, anything that be planted is a species that doesn't cause any further situation, obviously.
Yeah, any planting that we would take place in place of those trees, we would make it more towards like a shrub, low level,
Yep.
because we also don't want to block the view into that lovely spot in our museum.
Mm.
So something low would be an ideal option there.
I mean, admittedly, you may not need to have to plant in front of it anyway, because the whare there is the feature anyway.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just on that point there, I'd like to know if you'd be interested in one of our projects, the Ōtorohanga Kai Forest, doing some planting in there, community planting gardens with trees.
Yeah, well, we haven't got any plans further at this stage, but it's also definitely something we can take into consideration.
Through you, Chair, would they have to be checked out with the society though, since they access that land, or?
Yeah, there'd be a few discussions before anything would be planted in there. We wouldn't just roll on in and plant anything. There'll be a few discussions before then.
Any other questions? Okay, so the staff recommendation that the Ōtorohanga Community Board approve the removal of the two Malea trees situated outside the Ōtorohanga Museum, 17 Kakamutu Street, Ōtorohanga. Can I have a mover? Joe, seconder Steve. All in favour? And carried. Thanks, Jared. Okay, so our next item is the board projects. Then project 1, picnic in the park.
I have nothing extra to add other than what I had said last about planning to have the first one in November.
Any questions? Okay, project 2, Joe.
Through you, Chair. No, I don't actually have anything more to add. We're still getting quotes and also having to work with the town concept plan and reserve management plan, because that will probably set us back just a little bit time-wise, just to make sure that we're not, at cross purposes with what they're looking at. So we're still in discussion with Robbie, from Sport Waikato. Thank you.
Okay, and project 3 is Ōtorohanga Kai Forest. So I'm not sure if you've noticed, but we got approval from the Waikato Police to put a community garden outside of the police station. So we dug up a road in there on Thursday night. And then we'll be laying some compost down there and look at planting this week. And then from there, we'll look at other places that we can do community trees or gardens. Okay, and then project 4, the dog park.
Through you, Chair. Again, because it works in with the town concept plan and reserve management plan, I'm sort of at the holds of where they're at, and I just keep in discussion with them when they have their meetings. Thank you.
Okay, and are there any board member updates? And then, so just got the resolutions register. And just for staff recommendation that the Ōtorohanga Community Board confirm the removal of both resolutions, 046 and 047. Mover and seconder. Peter voted. Tori second. And any queries on that one? Okay. Carried. And then, sorry, I missed the Ōtorohanga Community Board discretion fund. And so following grants made in August. The board now has $4,000 excluding GST available to grant. And we approve $1,000 for the blue light transport costs. Okay. And that's it, meeting's closed at 4:12. Thank you.